If you're a first-time homebuyer, you've heard the same thing for years. Just wait until interest rates come down. Then you can get a better monthly payment. It sounds logical. It even feels responsible. It's also the exact reason that many Americans never break into the housing market at all. Over the past 12 years of helping hundreds of first-time homebuyers, I can tell you something that I know to be a fact. Housing affordability is not one when interest rates are the lowest. It's one when the competition is manageable and buyers have leverage. That is when the best deals are actually negotiated. And if the 2026 housing market unfolds the way many economists and industry leaders are predicting, this next phase may be one of the last windows where first-time homebuyers can get in. Ever. There's a lie that we're sold, that first-time homebuyers are sold about waiting for the perfect time. I'm hearing it everywhere. All the chatter from real estate offices to national headlines about what kind of market we're going to see in 2026. And I'll tell you this, most first-time homebuyers out there are preparing for the wrong market altogether. They're waiting for the lower rates that Trump is promising. They're waiting for friendlier headlines about sellers not having the upper hand anymore. And they're waiting for a clear green light from the media. Once Susie Orman says go, you guys, I can just tell you now, it's over. But housing cycles don't reward patience the way people think they do. They reward preparation. When rates fall quickly, the demand doesn't just politely line up. It floods in. And when the demand floods in, the prices move faster than most buyers can even wrap their head around, let alone adjust to. This is not speculation either. We saw this play out exactly the same way just a few years ago during the pandemic. That's when we ended up with a market where homes sell in days, buyers have to waive the protections that they have in form of contingencies, and affordability gets worse after interest rates improve. The buyers who win are rarely the ones who waited for certainty. They're the ones who had someone they trust helping them understand the cycle before it turned. What's actually going to shape the 2026 housing market, according to Housing Wire and other housing economists, 2026 is actually going to be shaped by three major forces. The first is a slow thaw in affordability. Please, for the love of God, take note of the fact that I said slow. I did not say crashed. I did not say boom. Then demand slowly, unevenly returns as life events push people back into the market. Think diapers, divorce, death. Not pretty. There's actually a lot of other milestones and transitions that move people into the housing market far more than the economy ever does. The third factor, inventory increasing gradually as the rate lock-in effect loosens, as those golden handcuffs come off. This is not a market that explodes overnight, guys. That's not what's being predicted. It's a market that opens quietly, and that is a beautiful thing for first-time homebuyers. Historically, those are the markets where the most prepared buyers have the most power because sellers are realistic, listings sit long enough where you have the opportunity to negotiate, and buyers aren't competing with the emotional urgency that most definitely will show up later in this coming cycle. A market that improves slowly creates opportunity, whereas a market that improves quickly creates chaos. Are you tracking with me? Here's why lower rates are not the jam. This is the part no one ever wants to hear. Lower rates don't automatically make homes more affordable. They make buyers more aggressive. When rates fall in a meaningful way into the low fives, high fours, monthly payments look much better. That means more buyers qualify, so there's more competition. What responds? Prices. Again, this is not a crystal ball theory that I'm pulling out of my ass. We've seen this happen before, repeatedly, but more importantly, very recently. The moment when the market feels safe again is usually the moment leverage shifts right back to sellers. I'm not trying to tell you that rates don't matter. I'm not that naive. But chasing the lowest possible rate while ignoring competition is how buyers lose years of progress. The best time to buy is absolutely not going to be when everyone feels optimistic that it's the best time to buy. Here's why a slow market in 2026 is actually going to be the window of opportunity. Realtors and lenders across the country are sad reading these headlines that the market is not going to magically turn on a dime. And that's because they're not as sharp as you and me. They're seriously out there excited to write 15 offers before they get one accepted, all while hoping their buyer doesn't lose their gumption or their buying power. Yuck! I remember that. It wasn't fun. I'm really looking forward to 2026 because a slowly stabilizing market gives buyers something incredibly valuable. Time. Time to make decisions without panic. Time to negotiate instead of overpaying. Time to buy based on the math and the return on investment rather than a fear of missing out. Maybe even time to walk away from a bad deal because I'll support them through that too if that's what needs to happen. Time is especially important to first-time homebuyers because they don't have the existing equity to fall back on and they're not benefiting from a move-up strategy. Here's what everybody else is going to miss. I guarantee it. The window won't slam loudly shut with a big announcement letting everyone know. It'll slam for sure, but it'll do so really quietly. The inventory will all of a sudden feel tight again. The pent-up demand will feel very loud. It will roar. And then the prices start moving faster than the wages can grow. Then everybody else is back to asking the same question they've been asking for years. Did we miss it? Not you guys, though. I won't let that happen to you. Because the real cost of waiting feels safe. Maybe it is safe, but it's definitely not net neutral. And that's what I need you to understand. While you are waiting, rent, the cost of living, that's increasing. Equity continues to compound for those who already got into the market. And many first-time homebuyers get pushed into a position they never planned for, permanently renting, despite having done everything else financially right. I'm never here pushing you into a panic purchase or forcing a decision you're not ready for. I'm here today, literally begging you to understand that cycles don't wait for confidence, but they definitely reward clarity. So what does this mean for first-time homebuyers? If you're thinking about buying your first home in the next few years, the question isn't whether 2026 will be the right year to do it. The question is whether you'll be positioned to take advantage of 2026. Or will you take your Uncle Dave's age-old advice and wait for the perfect conditions that so far have never actually arrived? Here's what I suggest you do before doing anything else. Join me on January 7th for a completely free webinar that's going to be open to buyers all across the country. We'll talk through the data that led me to understand that 2026 is going to be a real and soon to be rare window. I'm going to teach you exactly how to evaluate your real buying power in a stabilizing market, how to buy without overpaying, even if interest rates haven't fallen dramatically, what preparation actually matters, and what's just noise designed to keep you renting and broke, and how to make confident decisions doing something you've never done before. Maybe you won't decide to buy, and that is totally fine with me. I promise you. My only goal is that you understand this moment for what it actually is. So register. It's free. You have nothing to lose. And I'll tell you why I think 2026 might be the last year ever to break into the housing market.